Okay.
Call meeting to order.
Yes.
So, we'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, October 12th, and this is the meeting of the continuation of the meeting from yesterday for the City of Palo Alto Historic Resources Board. And we are again convening to pick up where we left off on our action item number 3 regarding 450 Bryant Street. First, let's call roll.
Okay. Board Member Bauer.
Here.
Vice Chair Wimmer.
Here.
Board Member Kohler.
Here.
Thank you.
And
Board Member DeSico.
Yes,
Present?
I am available here
Thank you.
Here by telephone.
And
by telephone.
Thank you.
And let the record reflect that we have one absence and two recusals based on a common law conflict of interest. And I am Cara Silver. I'm the Senior Assistant City Attorney. And I wanted to just say a few remarks about the process that we'll be following today for the continued hearing. As you know, this has been a very difficult meeting to schedule. We have two members who have been recused. We have one member who is out of town, one member who is at home recovering from surgery, and we thank her for joining us telephonically. And then we also have another member that is scheduled to go out of town on Thursday, thus necessitating the need to conduct this meeting on a rather expedited basis this week. So as you know, the Brown Act does allow for telephonic meetings. However, when there is some absences, the Brown Act says that telephonic meetings require that there be a quorum of people participating within Palo Alto. So since there are so many absences, we needed to conduct this rather unusual process of requiring that somebody who is out of town cannot participate telephonically. Because that would not allow for a quorum to be present in Palo Alto. Yesterday what happened is that we did not notice that the meeting would be, that one of the board members would be participating telephonically. And so we have now corrected that technical issue. We have posted the agenda on the board outside and publicly noticed that one of the board members will be participating telephonically. We've noticed the address, and any member of the public who would like to appear at the address and observe the member who's participating telephonically may do that as allowed under the Brown Act. So what we will proceed to do now is to conduct a continued hearing. And what we would suggest is that since there was a quorum present yesterday, but there was this technical issue, what we would suggest is what you do is that you make a motion to incorporate by reference all of the comments that were made at the hearing yesterday. Those comments were recorded through the media center, and so we would suggest that you incorporate them into the record of proceedings. And that then you not repeat your comments, but that you allow members of the public who would like to participate today to make additional comments, and then you can today use your time to make any additional comments that you would like in response to the comments you've received today. And then we would ask that you do make a motion on the project, and then that motion then will be delivered to the Architectural Review Board, which is the next administrative body to hear this item.
Okay, so I guess first, shall we see if there's any members of the public who would like to speak on behalf of the project and in acknowledgement of what you may have already said yesterday?
May I just very briefly?
Sure.
Just
Good morning. I'm Lisa Hendrickson, and I will be very brief. I wanted, on behalf of all of us at Albanese, to thank you all for your considerable effort to be here today to conclude the business of yesterday's meeting. I also wanted to share with you how grateful we all are for your expressions of support, and not a little bit relieved. We agree with you. This building has only gotten better. The design has only gotten better, and largely because of the suggestions that you've made over the meetings that we've spent together. We're really looking forward to building it and opening it to the public so that everybody may enjoy it, at which time we will be truly able to say that it took a village. And so thank you for being part of that village.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Chairwoman, can I make a motion that we include all of our deliberations as part of this meeting today, so that the discussion we had yesterday can be part of the record? And I hope I get the support of the rest of the board in the second, and then an affirmative vote.
Okay, so it sounds like we have a motion to kind of pick up where we left off yesterday. And yesterday we were all in support of the project, so I guess the motion is to
Incorporate the
It's just to
deliberations,
incorporate.
right?
This is just to incorporate
Okay.
yesterday's information, public input, our discussions with staff,
Okay.
so that body of information can be
is
part of
included,
this.
right?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. And with Board Member DeSicchio on the phone, all those for that motion, say aye.
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 All those opposed? So that passes unanimously
Well, with
4-0, and then
With-
2.
with one absent and two
Two
recused.
abstentions or two recusals.
So that passes.
Thank you.
And so is there any new business or anything else we need
And
to
then
talk about?
the second piece of your discussion, I think, is that you should make a motion on, the substance of the project.
Okay.
So the first motion incorporated all of your deliberations and the public testimony, and then the second piece for you to discuss is whether to recommend approval of the project to ARB.
Okay.
So I would like to make two motions, and let's just start with the first one. I think one of the things that we needed to weigh in on for both the Director of Planning and the ARB is the issue of the negative declaration of, it's neg def, I can't remember.
Mitigated negative declaration.
Yeah.
Mitigated negative
Say that number.
declaration. Anyway, so I think that I'd like to move that I think we support the report as it's presented to the board, which does show that negative impacts of the project can be mitigated, and it's discussed in great detail, starting on page 35, I think, of our packet. It's the DUDEC report, and it goes through all of the issues, the environmental issues. To my reading, this report, I think, is thorough and demonstrates that the impacts can be mitigated. So I'm proposing that we accept the report.
Okay, so should we vote on that one?
So we have to have a
Second.
second and then discussion.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion?
I don't think so.
Pat, any discussion?
I would agree.
Okay.
So all those in favor of accepting the information on the negative, the study, mitigated negative declaration, all those in favor of supporting that information, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay.
Good.
So that also passes with 4 members present, 2 recused and 1 absent.
Okay.
And then your second motion.
So
You're
I
doing a
don't
great job, David.
I don't want to monopolize the time here, but since time is short, and Pat,
Absolutely.
we've done most of our work yesterday.
Yes.
I would like to move
Yes.
that we accept that we recommend to the ARB the project as is currently designed, and I'll just read a couple of things into this motion, that we agree that the garage is original fabric and should be retained, that the addition as described in the memo from ARG, which is dated October 4th, 2016, and is part of our packet, convincingly discusses Secretary of Interior Standards number 9 and 10, and how this project now is compatible in its massing and its material selections and does not overwhelm the original building. That's one of the most important things that we discussed as a board over the many meetings. So I'm hoping the rest of the board will join me in supporting this and moving this on to construction.
Okay, I'll second that motion. Let's have a vote. All in favor?
Discussion.
So, is there any discussion?
I agree. I vote yes.
Okay.
And-
Well, I'm voting yes as well, but I think David did a very appropriate summary that really narrows it down. And as we all noted yesterday, that we thought this was an excellent project. So I vote yes.
Okay, and I'm also voting yes, so that's 4 yeses and no nays,
Well, several
Correct.
absent.
with 2 recusals and 1 absence.
Yeah.
Seems to be a pattern here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, is there anything else we need to do?
I think that pretty much concludes what we started yesterday, so I think.
Right. I mean,
Well,
that's
see,
what
there
the
is a
staff had
conflict.
asked us in their report to
And-
weigh in on.
And I would just say it would be important for me to acknowledge, because I don't know that I did yesterday, there was some email from a gentleman named David Hirsch, who you're familiar with, and I did forward that email to all of you, and you did receive that email. He was interested in knowing that, so I would like to state for the record that it was forwarded,
Right.
and you did
Yes, and
receive
we
it.
all received that, yes.
I would agree with your statement. I did read it. I reviewed it, and I did receive it, I believe, 3 or 4 days ago, before the last meeting.
Thank you.
Yes. And with that, I think, as far as I can understand, we've all unanimously agreed that this project will go forward, and that my vote will count. Okay?
Good,
Thank you so
Very
much
well.
for participating.
so I guess we can adjourn the meeting?
I guess if there's any other business or anything
Do
else
we
we want
have
to discuss,
any
we can adjourn.
meetings of the future that you know of coming up?
The next meeting we're targeting is November 10th. Due to the change in staffing here, Matt's last day is coming up on next week. There is I'll note later, but we will be acknowledging his leaving in a way that you can participate in. But yeah, so because of the staffing change, I think we're going to wait until November 10th to pull together anything that needs to come forward. We have no projects right now other than kind of follow up on the bulletin, and
Is there a replacement planned?
we're working on getting some consultant help for the
Oh,
moment in
okay.
the interim.
All right.
Yeah.
So one other item I just wanted to discuss, and this is just a board issue, is what can we learn from board members speaking in front of the ARB or speaking in other at other meetings with the result of them not being able to participate. I don't think they realized that that would happen when they did speak. So maybe just as a reminder or a lesson for the board is that maybe we need to gain clearance or ask, is it okay if I speak at another committee or council chamber or any kind of other ARB meeting on a project that is also considered one of our projects that we're reviewing? I think that was the conflict, is that this was a project that was also a continuation project for us. I don't think that they realized that that would prevent them from participating as board members. That's what I'm thinking. So maybe as a lesson for us, I don't know that.
So could I make a suggestion that since this is not on the agenda, that we put put this on our next
Yes,
agenda?
I think we should.
That's the suggestion you're making?
Yes,
Okay,
I think
good.
we should.
Because I think that, and maybe Cara, you could come back and talk to us about this.
Good idea.
So
I'd be
that we,
happy to do that.
so that we
I think we
understand.
so we have a
Because
better
I
understanding
was
of it.
intending to go to that meeting, and had I gone, there'd be no quorum today.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, generally speaking, we encourage the chair, invite the chair actually to go and convey what the board as a board did at their last meeting. You know, we reviewed, we
Right.
did this, we did that as a group. And so I
So-
think, you know, we can talk more about this on November 10th. But,
Yes. And we will actually, we are preparing a confidential writing for you on these issues, and it will actually be delivered to you either today or tomorrow. And then I will be happy to come back and have a public presentation with the whole board, and so members of the public can also learn about.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would be
The issues.
educational and helpful for us to better understand that
And
policy.
the public in general.
Confidential?
Yeah.
Yes.
I look forward to that.
Another item I might put on
That
for
means
the-
we're not telling you.
Another
Yes.
item for the November 10th meeting, I was thinking, because we do have our joint meeting coming up with the council on December 12th. I think that's the target date right now. That we could have a, you know, discussion of what, you know, what we might bring to that joint meeting.
That would be great.
So is that technically scheduled
I
with the
believe
council?
it is. I've seen it on the advanced schedule. Yeah, December 12th. So yeah, mark your calendars. Hopefully we can get a quorum to be there.
Well, it's important that we're there to
It would be great.
talk to the council.
Yeah.
I think I'll be in town.
So I can prepare some, you know, a report from last year's meeting, et cetera, and the work program for that meeting on the 10th.
Okay,
Okay, well, with that, if there's anything else, I guess we're adjourned.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming back again.